Mount Everest, standing as Earth's pinnacle, holds in its icy embrace tales of triumph, tragedy, and enigma. Beyond the tales of conquest and bravery, there are stories lesser known, unsettling finds that remind us of the mountain's menacing side. Here we delve into the top terrifying discoveries on Everest, starting with the story of Green Boots. Number 2. The abandoned ascents of decades past. Journeying up the slopes of Everest, climbers often encounter eerie vestiges from bygone expeditions, silent testimonies to the relentless quest for the summit. These remnants, scattered along the trail, belong to those who came before, and they speak of both ambition and abandonment. As one begins the ascent, early campsites present a tableau of discarded equipment, old tent fragments, and occasionally personal belongings. Each artifact carries with it a narrative, whether it be of a climber who decided to turn back or someone who continued forward but never returned. Many of these relics date back to the early days of Everest exploration when the equipment was rudimentary compared to today's advanced mountaineering gear. Another grim reminder is the sight of old fixed ropes, fraying and covered in frost, leading climbers up perilous sections. These ropes, left by earlier expeditions, are a testament to the challenges faced by those pioneers. On some treacherous stretches, multiple layers of these ropes lie tangled, each representing a different expedition and a different story of ambition. Even more distressing are the pages from diaries or old photographs that climbers occasionally find, fluttering in the wind or buried under a thin blanket of snow. These personal remnants force one to confront the harsh reality that for every jubilant success story Everest has witnessed, there are tales of dreams unfulfilled and lives cut short. While some argue that these remnants should be cleaned up to restore Everest's pristine beauty, others believe they should remain as historical markers, allowing future climbers to pay homage to those who tread the path before them. In a landscape as vast and overwhelming as Everest, these traces of abandoned ascents serve a dual purpose. They stand as cautionary tales, underlining the gravity of the undertaking, while also connecting climbers to a rich legacy of mountaineering history, binding them in a timeless narrative of human determination, resilience, and vulnerability. Number 3. Icefall Doctors' Near-Death Experiences. The Khumbu Icefall, a treacherous expanse of ever-moving ice and crevasses on the southern route of Everest, is both awe-inspiring and foreboding. Nicknamed the Gateway to the Death Zone, this region has claimed numerous lives. One particular group of heroes often risks their lives in this dangerous zone: the Icefall Doctors. Icefall Doctors, primarily Sherpas, have the perilous job of setting up ropes and ladders across the icefall each climbing season. Their work ensures that climbers can navigate this hazardous terrain with a slightly decreased risk. However, these doctors frequently flirt with death, facing close calls that are the stuff of mountaineering nightmares. One harrowing account is of an icefall doctor named Nima, who narrowly escaped being buried by a cascading tower of ice. While anchoring a ladder, he heard the ominous creak and groan of shifting ice. Recognizing the impending danger, Nima hurled himself off the path just in time as a serac, a massive block of glacial ice, crashed down where he stood moments before. The thunderous roar, followed by a chilling silence, was a grim reminder of the unpredictability of the icefall. Another tale comes from Pemba, a seasoned icefall doctor. While assessing a section for safety, a hidden crevasse covered by a deceptive snow bridge gave way beneath him. In an instant, he found himself dangling over the abyss, held only by his safety line. His comrades rushed to pull him up, their combined efforts saving him from a seemingly inevitable fate. The incident left Pemba shaken, but his commitment to his duty saw him back on the icefall the very next day. The resilience and courage of the icefall doctors are unparalleled. Their role is crucial, yet their heroics often go unsung. For them, near-death experiences are part of the job description, and they brave these dangers to make the journey safer for others. Their tales of close calls serve as sobering reminders of Everest's ever-present dangers. Even in the face of death, the dedication of the icefall doctors shines through, underscoring the human spirit's indomitable will and the lengths it will go to in the pursuit of aiding others in the conquest of the world's highest peak. Number 4. The remnants of failed military expeditions. Mount Everest, while primarily seen as a beacon for mountaineers and adventurers, has its share of historical mysteries intertwined with military ambitions. Over the years, several military expeditions have made their way to this towering giant, driven by purposes other than mere summiting. The remnants of these expeditions are scattered across Everest's slopes, offering glimpses into secretive missions and strategic endeavors gone awry. One of the most tantalizing stories is that of a rumored British military expedition during the early 20th century. It is said that amid geopolitical tensions, a team was dispatched to install a wireless radio at the summit, intending to intercept enemy communications. The fate of this expedition is largely unknown, but climbers have reported finding old-fashioned radio equipment and military insignia buried in the snow at high altitudes, fueling speculation about this covert mission. The Japanese Imperial Army, too, is believed to have had its sights on Everest during World War II. The goal was not the summit, but the collection of meteorological data and possibly the establishment of a high-altitude training ground. Some trekkers have stumbled upon old Japanese military gear, including weather instruments and distinctive World War II-era helmets eerily preserved by the cold. But perhaps the most haunting remnants are those from lesser-known expeditions. These are believed to be reconnaissance missions by various nations, attempting to map the region or establish surveillance outposts. Their legacy? Abandoned camps with military-grade tents, scattered documents in languages ranging from Russian to Hindi, and the occasional unidentifiable badge or insignia. These finds serve as stark reminders of Everest's relentless nature. The mountain does not distinguish between adventurer and soldier, scientist or spy. Its formidable challenges have thwarted many ambitions, whether they be of personal glory or strategic advantage. As climbers encounter these military remnants, they become part of a larger narrative that goes beyond mountaineering. They bear witness to Everest's role in global geopolitics, to clandestine operations and high-stakes gambles played out on the world's highest battleground. These tales, pieced together from rusted equipment, faded documents, and whispered campfire stories, add another dimension to Everest's lore. While it remains a symbol of human perseverance against nature's might, it also stands sentinel to covert endeavors, where nations vied for supremacy in the shadows of its towering peaks. Number 5. Frozen time. Watches stopped at moments of desperation. Among the myriad of haunting relics that dot the landscape of Mount Everest, few are as poignant as the sight of wristwatches, their hands forever frozen at distinct moments, telling silent tales of desperation and the inexorable march of time amidst extreme adversity. One particularly haunting discovery was a watch stopped at 2:16 p.m., found beside a climber from a 1970s expedition. Records indicate that a ferocious storm had engulfed the mountain at that very hour. The watch, encased in ice but still remarkably preserved, serves as a grim reminder of the suddenness with which nature can unleash its fury. Another poignant find was a vintage timepiece dating back to the early attempts on the summit. Its hands were arrested at 5:43 a.m., possibly indicating a pre-dawn ascent, a strategy employed by climbers to capitalize on the slightly warmer and calmer morning hours. The climber's fate remains unknown, but the watch stands testament to the hopeful beginnings of a day that may have turned tragic. Stories also circulate of a watch discovered near the south summit, its second hand eerily stuck in mid-tick. The climber, it appeared, had been documenting his journey, with notes indicating concerns about decreasing oxygen levels. The stopped watch, paired with these notes, paints a heartbreaking picture of a climber racing against time, with the very element that sustains life slowly running out. These frozen moments in time, captured by lifeless wristwatches, offer a unique perspective into the challenges faced by those daring to conquer Everest. They serve as vivid reminders of the fragility of life, the unpredictability of nature, and the profound respect the mountain demands. To the casual observer, they might appear as mere objects corroded by time and weathered by the elements. But to those who understand the profound complexities and dangers of high-altitude mountaineering, these watches, stopped in their tracks, resonate deeply. They silently echo the hopes, fears, and sheer determination of those who ventured into the heart of the world's tallest giant, where time can stand still even as life moves on. Number 6. Mysterious ancient artifacts, indications of early climbers? Mount Everest, revered by many as the roof of the world, is not just a magnet for contemporary climbers, but, as some discoveries suggest, may have been a place of significance long before modern attempts to conquer its summit. Among the typical mountaineering remnants, climbers have occasionally stumbled upon ancient artifacts that hint at the presence of early explorers or pilgrims, adding layers of mystique to the mountain's already rich tapestry of tales. One of the most captivating discoveries is a set of old wooden stakes, found at an altitude that suggests human presence in areas of Everest not thought possible without modern equipment. Radiocarbon dating places these stakes at several centuries old. Were they markers for a path, or perhaps remnants of a rudimentary climbing attempt? The answers remain elusive. Further fueling the intrigue are ornate artifacts, possibly of religious significance. Small bronze statues, believed to be Buddhist in origin, have been unearthed from beneath the snow. These figurines, depicting deities and protective spirits, raise questions about early pilgrimages. Could Everest have been a site of spiritual quests, with seekers braving its treacherous terrains in hopes of attaining enlightenment or offering prayers? Another confounding find is a series of stone cairns, meticulously stacked, discovered at various altitudes. While stone stacking is a common way to mark paths across many cultures, the age and location of these cairns suggest they might be more than mere trail markers. Some hypothesize they might be ancient burial or memorial sites, while others wonder if they were ritualistic structures, built in homage to the mountain gods. Historians, archaeologists, and mountaineers have since been intrigued by these finds. They open up avenues for research and exploration that go beyond the physical conquest of the summit. What were the stories of these early visitors? What drove them to venture into this frozen wilderness? While we may never get definitive answers, these artifacts serve as poignant reminders that Everest's allure is timeless. They stand testament to the mountain's enduring call, drawing people across ages, not just as a challenge to be surmounted, but perhaps as a sacred space, a bridge between the earthly and the divine, the known and the mysterious. In the shadow of these ancient relics, every modern step on Everest becomes a walk through history, a journey entwined with tales old and new. Number 7. The ominous crevasses and their hidden secrets. Crevasses, the deep, treacherous fissures that scar the icy expanses of Mount Everest. They are among the mountain's deadliest features, often hidden beneath fragile snow bridges, waiting to ensnare the unwary. But beyond the immediate dangers they present, crevasses have come to be seen as Everest's vaults of secrets, repositories of tales untold, mysteries unsolved, and legacies forever embedded in their icy embrace. For many climbers, the first encounter with a crevasse can be a chilling experience, both literally and figuratively. These gaping chasms present not only a physical obstacle but also a psychological one. Each step taken near them is a gamble, a balance between progressing forward and avoiding the abyss below. Over the years, climbers have reported finding items within these crevasses, revealing snippets of past expeditions. An old-fashioned ice axe from the early 20th century, a frayed rope, or a rusted oxygen tank. Each object tells a story, hinting at an era, an attempt, and often a tragedy. But it's not just equipment that the crevasses guard. There are tales, whispered among climbers, of glimpses of frozen figures trapped in time, reminders of the perils of the ascent. Some of these might be climbers who had been reported missing, their whereabouts unknown until the shifting ice revealed their final resting place. Others remain unidentified, their stories perhaps lost to the annals of time. In a more recent incident, a climber accidentally dropped his camera into a crevasse. Using special equipment, the team managed to retrieve it, and to their astonishment, the memory card was intact. Among his own photos were images from another expedition, dating back years earlier, whose members had suffered a tragic end. The camera, it seemed, had a journey and a chronicle of its own. For every story revealed by these crevasses, countless others remain concealed. They are Everest's archives, changing and shifting with the glacier's movements. With each passing year, as the ice melts and the mountain's face evolves, there's the potential for more revelations. Crevasses, with their hidden depths, serve as a humbling reminder of the mountain's might and mystery. They are emblematic of the risks and enigmas that Everest presents, holding within their icy walls tales of ambition, endurance, and fate. They are testament to the ever-changing yet timeless nature of the mountain, a place where legends are born and secrets are both concealed and revealed. Number 9. Diaries of Despair, Last Words Written in the Cold. Amidst the swirling winds and blinding snows of Mount Everest, in moments of solitude and desperation, many climbers have turned to the written word as a means of catharsis, a final tether to a world they might soon leave behind. Discovered in tents, near bodies, or occasionally in abandoned campsites, these diaries, scribbled notes, and letters stand as heart-wrenching testaments to the raw human experience on the roof of the world. The value of these writings isn't in their prose or eloquence, but in their brutal honesty. Often penned with trembling hands and fading consciousness, they chronicle the gamut of emotions faced by climbers: hope, fear, regret, and sometimes acceptance. One such diary, discovered near the South Col, belonged to a young mountaineer who, running out of oxygen and faced with worsening weather, recorded his final hours. "The mountain's beauty is cruel," he wrote. "For all its majesty, it remains indifferent to my dreams." His entries, starting with excitement and anticipation, morphed into poignant reflections on life, love, and the choices that brought him to those final moments. Another note, found clipped to a tent abandoned above Camp 4, was addressed to a climber's family. It read, "Should this find its way to you, know that my heart was full of memories of home. The cold is numbing, but my spirit is warmed by thoughts of you." These final words, tinged with love and longing, give a glimpse into the thoughts that sustain climbers in their loneliest moments. While these writings offer insights into individual experiences, they also provide a collective commentary on the allure and perils of high-altitude mountaineering. Everest, for many, isn't just a physical challenge, but an emotional and spiritual journey. These diaries capture the essence of this journey, from the initial thrill of adventure to the profound introspection that often accompanies extreme adversity. For those who recover these diaries, the experience is often deeply moving. These writings bridge the gap between the living and the departed, serving as reminders of the fragility of life and the profound impact of individual stories. In the shadow of Everest's towering peaks, these diaries of despair stand as monuments to human resilience and vulnerability. Through their words, lost climbers live on, their stories echoing amidst the vast silence, urging future generations to tread with respect, humility, and an appreciation for the profound interplay of life, death, and the indomitable human spirit on the world's highest battleground. Number 10. The Whispering Winds, Alleged Hauntings at Certain Altitudes. Mount Everest, with its towering heights and enigmatic allure, has not only been the subject of mountaineering tales, but also of spine-tingling stories that extend beyond the physical realm. Amid the cold, desolate landscapes, many climbers have reported experiences that can't be easily explained by altitude sickness or sheer exhaustion. Whispers in the wind, fleeting shadows, and an inexplicable sense of being watched. These are the tales of alleged hauntings that add another layer of mystery to Everest's slopes. The death zone, above 8,000 meters, is notorious for its extreme conditions and the toll it takes on the human body. However, some climbers claim its name might also allude to otherworldly encounters. Stories abound of climbers hearing their names whispered, even when alone, or feeling a guiding hand in treacherous terrains, only to turn around and find no one there. Camp 4, situated precariously on the South Col, has seen its fair share of tragedies. It's here that many have reported seeing fleeting apparitions in the periphery of their vision. One seasoned mountaineer recounted a chilling tale of waking up to a figure standing outside his tent, only to find no trace upon investigation. The figure, clad in old mountaineering gear, seemed to be pointing towards the summit before vanishing into the icy winds. The area around Green Boots Cave, named after the infamous body landmark, is another hotspot for eerie tales. Some climbers have spoken of sudden cold spots and the unsettling feeling of being watched. One team even reported hearing faint cries for help, leading them on a wild chase to assist a fellow mountaineer, only to find nothing but the howling wind. Skeptics often attribute these experiences to the physiological and psychological stresses at high altitudes. The combination of thin air, exhaustion, and the overwhelming nature of the environment can play tricks on the mind. Yet for those who have experienced these phenomena, their encounters feel too real, too vivid to dismiss. Everest, with its centuries-old history and countless tales of ambition and tragedy, is ripe for legends of the supernatural. Whether these stories are products of the mind or genuine encounters with the mountain's lost souls, they add to Everest's lore, making each ascent not just a physical challenge, but also a journey through the echoes of the past. In the end, whether one believes in the supernatural or not, the whispering winds of Everest serve as haunting reminders of the mountain's many secrets and the thin line between life, death, and the realm of the unknown that exists on its slopes.